Hey Team Titleist, Cameron Young here. I'm going to take you through my golf bag, show you what I have in there, and I'll start with the golf ball. I play the Pro V1 left dot, and I mark it with a K, an H, and an N. The K is for my wife's name, the H is my son, and then we're having a new baby, so I just put an N on there. I used to do dots, but I realized I could use the letters and it would kind of look the same, and just a little tribute to them. The spin is just right for me. I played the Pro V1, and I was looking for just a little more, and for me, for whatever reason, this one just fit a really nice gap. I like to have it spinning a little bit, so it's probably a little high for what might be optimal, but for me, that's the way I like to play it, and I think that gives me the most control over my irons. And then with the driver, it's very low spin as well, so it helps me get a little more distance off the tee. Next up, I've got the driver. I have the new TSR 3 in play. It's 10 degrees, turned down a little bit. But I made the switch from TSI to TSR immediately. I loved it right off the bat, you know, the sound, the feel of it. I picked up probably a couple miles an hour ball speed. And to me, it really kind of felt like a hammer compared to the old one. So it's really rewarding for me to hit. I feel like, you know, when I hit it properly, I can keep a lot of spin off of it and make it go pretty far. The next, I also switched right away to the TSR 3 16.5 degree. As we call it, the 4-wood, kind of in between. But the 3 woods go so far that just that loft works for me. It helps me hit it a little higher. And these ones I think are better than the TSI 3-wood, just because to me it sits better on the ground and it makes it way easier for me to hit off the ground as opposed to off a tee. Next up, I got a hybrid. I always played like some kind of driving iron, but recently I've been looking for some more height, some more playability, kind of into par 5s. And so I play a 4 hybrid, and it really gives me a lot of control. I think I have the option to hit it low like a driving iron. But also when I need to, you know, I can sweep it a little more and hit it way up in the air, which has been really useful for me. It's very easy to shape it right to left, which can be hard, you know, with a 2 iron or a 3 iron. So just looking for some help there, but that's worked out really nicely. I've got three different kinds of iron heads in here. I've got a T200, a CB, and an MB, and yeah, just the consistency between them. I mean, even though this 4 iron is a little bit bigger and way more forgiving, it really doesn't look that much different to, you know, my 6 iron, which is a blade. So I think just being able to look down at something that consistent, even though they are some different heads and they serve different purposes, just the looks of them and the sound and feel is very consistent through all of them, which I think makes it a lot easier. Just the more things you can keep the same, the better. And just being able to mix the set like that and know that, you know, they're all going to feel and look and sound very similar, even though, you know, I'm going to get some more performance out of that one than I would a blade 4 iron. It's just nice, you know, any bit of consistency we can bring is always a good thing. Then I'll take you through the wedges. I've got 48 degree Vokey pitching wedge. The reason for having a Vokey pitching wedge is mostly out of the rough. I think it just gives me a little more control. They launch a little bit more consistently. But yeah, so I've got that one. I think it's a little bit upright because one week I was hitting it left to right too much and they fixed it for me. And then I've got a 52 bent to 53, just for my yardages. They're all kind of a little bit unique, but I think these two are actually the same distance, same length, sorry. For whatever reason, I think it helps me control my distance better if I've only got really 2 different length wedges. The 62 and 58 are the same, and the 48 and the 53 are the same. So it just helps me if I've got, you know, these ones I hit more full, so to have those both the same length, I think brings some more consistency. And then kind of the same thing with these, I hit these more partial, the 62 especially. I mean, this is the one I work with all around the greens, and yeah, it's been great. They did a special little grind here for me to help me really out of the bunker. I was struggling with just kind of not being able to get through the sand, and so they sharpened up the leading edge for me and took some bounce out, and it's helped me a lot. I mean, my bunker play is drastically improved. So this has been in play for 1 week. I finished second, so it'll probably stay, but it's a T5 prototype. It's got just a little bit of toe hang for me there. And I've gone back and forth. This is kind of an experiment for me. I've putted with some face balance putters for a long time, kind of like this one here. It's the same head shape, but just a little longer neck, which makes it face balanced. So I've really been experimenting with the two, and you know, I love the shape of this head so much. I think it really frames the ball well, and it's just been trying to fine tune it and figure out exactly what I like to feel with the putter, which I think we're really closing in on. So I'm excited about that.